Howdy folks, JayborinoPlays here. This is Starcraft 1 Retribution, a Starcraft 1 expansion pack. The last of the Defenders Fall, Mission 7 of the Protoss campaign. Lay waste to the tattered Iridian defenses in preparation for recovering the stone.
It is now a certainty that the ruins of Eridas are the remnants of the fabled city of Taladon. Soon our destiny will be manifest as we take our rightful place next to the Zelnaga as one of the greatest of all races. Your strategic expertise has severed yet another string holding the battered Terran forces together. The defenses along the edge of the planet are crumbling since their supply lines have been cut. There is but one final Iridian stronghold to breach before Taladon will be ours.
Sounds just like the last 2 to 3 missions where we're just fighting a random nameless Terran force. Well, it's the Iridian defenders, right? But why aren't we just purifying this planet? The Protoss had no qualms doing that unless you're Tassadar. I don't know. The story's interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's more interesting than some other things that we've played. But it's like, we're covering the Argus Stone? But what is the Argus Stone? What is it for? Has that been explained at all? Because I don't think it has been. We have some decent amount of forces here. Let's take our scout and just start kind of going around in a circle around our base to see what's here, so that we can look for early expansions, anything around us. And we're just going to make early probes like usual. Let's go ahead and throw our observer out a little bit. And we've got some units attacking us down here, random blue marine. So we do know that they're going to be attacking us from down there, so let's throw down a pylon in it, or a cannon right away. All right, let's move my probes away, because I feel like as probes spawn, they're going to kind of get in the way of our probes mining from this geyser, and they're just going to kind of get in the way, so. Okay. Okay, so blue is sending units from down here. Is there like a base that's like hidden down here? Because if we could take that out quickly, we'd be able to take... okay, so they're coming from over here. No, there's just a... Oh, there's just a nice expansion down here. Okay, well, Scout, why don't you come up here, check all this out. Don't miss anything this time. I just completely missed that expansion. Let's make sure we don't do that again in the future. All right, throw this down, throw this down. What I'm going to do is actually get double forges right away, or rather a triple forge, just so we can start all, like, triple upgrades. Boom, boom, boom. Now you guys get back on here. Do we have a Citadel of Adun? Let's go ahead and get our Dragoon range. We don't have a Citadel, it doesn't look like. I might realize I have a Citadel, like, way later, but for right now, let's just throw this down. Let's grab a couple units, just a couple, and send them down here to secure whatever this might be so we can take this base. I don't know if this observer's going to actually stop any attacks coming at me. Looks like mostly flat. We might not have a river to cross. We may have a river to cross. We might not have a river to cross. We'll find out. Anyway, let's just keep making probes. I understand queuing up that many probes is not a good idea. It's more laziness than it is a lack of knowledge. I understand. Obviously, you can queue up 1 probe instead of 5. That's 200 minerals you can use elsewhere. Again, it's not about a lack of knowledge in that. It's just that I'm not a very good player. It's not even that. It's more that I'm just a lazy player. Very lazy, so that's why I'm doing that. All right, so let's go ahead and start our upgrades. And then we're going to have to get a... We're going to have to get a Templar Archive so we can get +2. The faster you can get upgrades, I found, the better, in my opinion. That's kind of what a lot of this teeters on, is how fast you can get those upgrades. We're probably going to want to get a few more Zealots. It looks like they're still sending some units down here. Not a lot, but they're still sending some. Let's go ahead and send a probe down here so we can take this base as soon as possible and get a couple cannons around. It's really hard to tell where they're coming from because we're wide open on many sides here. So, we're probably going to want some cannons here, 1 or 2 cannons up here, and probably some cannons down here. So pretty much everywhere. We have an entrance on the other side down here as well, and that's right by my mineral line. Who knows where they're going to attack from? Plus, air units could come from any direction. I really just don't know where the enemy bases are yet. But I've scouted in my direct vicinity and have not found really anything, so for now we should be fine. Okay, but it's really just, you know, using my existing units to defend myself. Let's throw down a cannon. All right, you guys, please move. Throw down a cannon right here. And what is being attacked? All right, this is down here. My forges, leave that stuff alone. Alright, so they're coming from down there. So maybe we'll do like a mixed Reaver, Archon, Zealot force this time around, or maybe like just like a Reaver Dragoon force. It seems like fighting against Terran can be quite annoying just because they like to send a lot of science vessels at you, which can EMP you, but I've found that if you attack fast enough, it's before they'll have EMP and or before they'll have cloaked wraiths and things like that. So if you can, if you can pull that off, let's go ahead and put some cannons at the top of this ramp too, that way we don't have to leave too many units here. If you can pull that off, then you don't really have as much to worry about in the long run. Just because you can wipe out 1 or 2 of the enemy bases, it seems like a pretty consistent theme. You're fighting 2 to 3 enemies, all set at like a difficult AI setting, and that's really it. So I'll probably do Reavers, and if we can get some Archons fast and get our like just 3/3/3 ground right away, we'll be in really good shape. I will make maybe 2 to 4 carriers as support, but this is not like a exclusively carrier mission. Maybe there's 2 more Protoss missions after this. Maybe we'll make mass carriers for one of them. But the idea is mass carriers is fun a little bit, but it also can be very, very boring at times. So it's hard to justify going, yeah, let's do mass carriers. Just sort of lame. Both to watch and to play sometimes, so that's why I'm not really doing it. All right, so this Nexus will help a lot once we get it all set up. Let's throw some more guys on gas. And again, Archons can feel like a big waste of money, but when you're floating so much gas like me, sometimes it's not a bad idea to just make a lot of Archons. All right, so we're gonna need a Templar Archive next. That will allow us to also make Archons in, when we want them. But again, EMP just renders Archons almost entirely worthless, so that's why I'm not a big fan of them. Let's keep some extra probes down here. Okay, and then as this stuff gets mined out, we'll be able to transfer units. Okay, so we're probably going to want 2 robo bays. We're definitely going to need an observatory. If I've learned anything, it's like observers are just absolutely crucial. In fact, it's probably worthwhile to put observers on a separate hotkey just so that you don't accidentally auto-attack them into turrets somewhere or something. Let's throw down another cannon over here, and then probably 2 cannons up in this direction if we can afford them. And we can. So that way I feel mildly defended on all fronts. We have an observer up here to help me spot anything that might be coming from those directions. So right now we're in full macro mode. As long as we're slightly defended in most locations, we'll be in just fine shape. The key is, minimal defenses in terms of cannons. You don't want to build too many cannons because right now we're mostly hurting for money. Let's move our units over in this direction. But we're mostly hurting for money. So if we can hold on for long enough to get like +2/2 or 3/3 even, then we would be in just fine shape. The key is just holding on for just long enough that you can get a lot of these big upgrades. So like we're gonna queue up these types of upgrades. We can get +2 here very soon. What's the total amount that we need? 300, 450, 625 of each type of resource. So that's not really in sight right now. So let's just make more probes. We can take a couple from up here and transfer them down. And I really want to put a few on gas right here, because I feel like gas, again, in the long run is going to be what we're going to be short on. Though it depends. It depends on how fast you are at spending your money. We can make Reavers now. I think, we still have that and Observer, which is up here. We're going to want to bring that with us. We probably want to extend our defense up here just a tiny bit. So, like, throw down some extra cannons here. It seems like this is the direction that they like to come from. And keep in mind that Plasma Shields helps your cannons as well. So like we got a nice little static defense there, and hopefully we won't have to replace it for quite some time. Air armor is fine. So we'll have 1-1-1-1-1, which is air armor, air weapons, plasma shields, ground armor, ground weapons. It'll be great. It'll be great. We're saturated on gas there. Let's just keep making probes. We got a small amount of defense here. Hopefully that's enough in case, hopefully we don't get hit by something massive. But it's going to be time here. We're going to start laying down gateways, get a second robo facility, and just start pumping out units like crazy. But right now we don't need to right away. We have enough units here plus cannons that we should be pretty safe. Let's take our scout and start looking around a little more, start poking in, seeing where we want to go first. I'd like to have a general idea of where we need to go. Okay, I don't like that at all. Of course, they circumvented my defense. I'd love to not have that Templar Archive die. Okay, we should be fine here, but, losing a little more than maybe necessary. So it's W for ground, not G for ground weapons. Okay, so you guys move on up, and I suppose we need a couple cannons over here. Cool, cool, cool. Just a couple to make sure that we don't get caught unawares. Okay, but really, like, where is the enemy? This is a very large base. Of course, they're around the edges that we're going to have to deal with. All right, there and there. Start making a couple shuttles. Not shuttles, those are reavers. Those are reavers. Okay, let's grab our fleet beacon. And let's just make a bunch of zealots in the meantime while we wait. And we're going to need definitely just more gateways, I think. So gateway there, gateway up here. Probably 1 or 2 more gateways even we can afford to have. So like throw this one down right here. Okay, so we'll have 4 gateways. We can get upgraded scarab damage. We need more probes mining down at our expansion. And I've noticed it seems like you get a ton of money, but you do run that money out very, very, very fast. Right, they're attacking up here. Not a big deal, though. Let's just move the Dragoons down in this direction. Not a huge, like, I mean, these attacks are large, but they're not, like, hugely worrying. Especially because we have high ground advantage. We're not spending a lot to deal with them. Let's queue up our first carrier, our fleet beacon. We can get carrier capacity. And I still want that scarab damage, and we need pylons now. So, you know, I was doing real good until the, the pylons. It's always pylons. Ugh, I feel like my brain's running at half speed right now because I woke up from a pretty long nap. But it's Tuesday night right now, and I realized that I don't have any videos recorded past tomorrow, so I really need to get on that. And I was just laying in bed, having the time of my life, and then I realized, oh, gotta record for the rest of the week. Oh no, a river. I shouldn't have started building ground units before I knew there was a way across the river. Well, there is a bridge. What is across the bridge? It's defended. Not hugely defended, but it's defended. Let's get an extra observer now, because we're going to need it. I'm going to hotkey my reavers so that I can have them hotkey just so that I can quickly rebuild scarabs. We can do the same with our carriers once we get them. We have a carrier coming up. I think I'm doing pretty good at spending my money pretty quickly. And I would probably need like around 800 minerals and gas in order to get 333. I'd like to kind of prioritize that right now. Probably don't need these zealots up here. A little wasteful. We could get a gateway down here just in case. All right, you guys get mining. It's kind of getting to the point where we have so many probes that that they're taking up too much supply. I'm going to keep queuing up these. Got our first carrier, which is great. Gonna hotkey that to 2. Build some interceptors, buddy. And we have a decent amount of units here. Here comes Teal. It seems like they don't have siege yet, though. This is great. Reavers get on up there and help. You can up smash through this. That cannon was just sort of waiting for death. There goes our scarabs. Do they have their double damage? I think they have their double damage already. Is it double damage? It might be double damage or plus 50%. I'd like to get another robo facility in case we need to spam observers so that we can also continue reaver production later. Air weapons, and so how much are we looking at? 200, 250, so 450 plus 400, 850. It's about the same as Starcraft 2, I think, is 700 total for 333. From 222 to 333, and in Starcraft 1, it's 850. And I really think it's the increased cost on those plasma shields. It's very, very expensive for those plasma shields. I think Protoss upgrades are just valued so much more in StarCraft 1, in my opinion. Okay, so come on now. There's 800, so it's WAS, not GAS. Give me that gas. There we go. Great. Are we short? Are we, like, not fully saturated on this gas? We're not. Let's throw one more probe on here. As you can see, our mineral patches are already getting pretty low. I mean, I'm semi-oversaturating these minerals, so I don't know. It's fine. We're doing fine. This is going well, and we're gonna start pumping out units like crazy so that we can make some serious headway here. We definitely want to just cross this bridge, and then we'll go from there on where we need to go. So probably 2 more reavers. It's E. It's V. Okay. Some of them are intuitive, and some of them just aren't. So, like, why is it not R? Most everything else starts with the letter that it starts with, but Reaver is just V. It's not like that conflicts with something else in the robo facility. I don't know. We'll never know. Pretty much once we get 333, we're going to be moving. I'd like to get +3 attack with my carriers. I'm going to get a second Stargate because I'm anticipating needing air units later. Probably to clean up errant buildings, because that's how these games like to roll, like assholes. So it'd be better to be prepared. Okay, so get on up here and help them out, and let's throw down another Stargate. We're going to need it later. It seems like they don't have Cloak yet. This is very, very good. Okay, and we do have minerals, but not gas, so let's go ahead and rebuild these cannons. I'll feel a little more comfortable if I can do that. We've got more Reavers coming out. The fact that we have more money than gas is fine, just because we're going to be building a lot of Scarabs and a lot of Interceptors, which are very, very, very mineral heavy. Very mineral heavy. And it will become very noticeable once we start attacking, so it'll be good to, again, be pretty prepared for that. So just throw down a couple more cannons here. We have nearly enough pylons to be maxed out to get to 200, so let's, I say why not? Better to do this now, we won't have to worry about it later. That should do it. Okay, so we've got all of our Reavers. We're going to have all of our Scarabs set up. We're going to have 3 carriers, and then we're just going to kind of round out the rest of our force with Zealots to kind of push across these long bridges. So what I'd like to do is move over to here, move my units up. I might leave a small defense force. I'm going to hotkey my observer. In fact, I'm going to have 2 observers in case we lose one carelessly. I say that a lot. Lose something carelessly. Let's move these guys up, and... Oh, these guys are fucked. They don't know what they're getting into. Okay, I don't want to push across this this bridge until we absolutely have to. So let's just back up now. Just let them come to me. My Reavers are slowly squirming their way up there. Carriers. We need more Interceptors for some of the newer carriers. And I guess that scout can kind of hang out at home, and then what I want to do is rally my gateways up to this general area. Up into this general area. So, Dragoons, Zealots. And we can make a couple Archons. We're going to need just a couple Archons. So I'll probably just lead the charge with the, with the Reavers. They can outrange the bunkers and things like that. And, just leave a couple Zealots at home to help with anything else that might be coming. We'll have 3 carriers. Let's make a 4th, and then we'll be done with carriers for the most part. More Interceptors. Okay, keep it up, Reavers. Okay, lure them across the bridge. My other Reavers are stuck. They couldn't all clump up there. Turn and fight. Again, this is 10 minerals a shot. Is it worth it? It's hard to say. It's basically like throwing minerals at them and hitting them. Okay, keep it up, Reavers. We just want to destroy this bunker, and I'll feel a lot safer, all right? All right, so let's keep it up with the Archons. Let's get +3 air weapons. And carriers, just make your Interceptors. You're hotkeyed. Reavers, just squirm your way across, and then we're going to start squirming across with everybody else, too. Okay, wonderful. And I haven't really seen any science vessels that have come to try to EMP us. That's usually the sign, is when you start attacking enemy buildings, they'll be like, nope, fuck you, and they'll send a bunch of science vessels to EMP you. I've not seen that, which makes me feel a lot more comfortable to try to make Archons right now. It seems like they're still attacking up in this direction. Okay, so we've got more High Templar. I'm going to make maybe another group, and then some more Zealots. So I'm probably going to poke in with the carriers. It's good to kind of get an idea of what's going to attack us from what direction and where. But really, though, where is the enemy base? Okay, well, here's some stuff. It's really just finding what enemy buildings we want to attack. Getting rid of these missile turrets will be helpful right away. Just so that our carriers can help support us in the future. Okay, so everybody move on up. Everybody move on up. Moving on up. Okay, I've got my High Templar coming on up, and we're in really, really good shape. So let's keep kind of inching forward, move forward with the carriers and with everything else, just to kind of give us an indication on what we need to attack first. Move up with the Reavers, carriers, just start poking away at these buildings. It seems like these tanks aren't sieged. I'll take it. All right, back away, buddy. Okay, we have another carrier. Yeah, okay, so these tanks are all sieged up. Back away, Reaver. Don't carelessly die. Okay, so I'm getting rid of these tanks on the ledge. I found that that's a pretty needed thing to do constantly. But here's the teal base. I'm thinking we just auto-attack in this direction and kind of see what happens. I don't like this, well, saying let's see what happens is generally not a good thing to do. But it's happening, so let's see what happens. Archons. And Reavers and Carriers, you're my power units. I really need you to push in here. These, okay, this area up here needs cleaned out very, very quickly, too. Okay, push in. How are we doing on upgrades? And let's kind of pay attention to what's happening here. Okay, more interceptors. Okay, move on up with the observers just in case, so that we don't get stuck. I really love to move in and hit this tank and then hit the missile turret. Okay, it unsieged. Never mind, we're fine. We need to clear out this area up here, like ASAP. Okay, carriers, move on up and hit these tanks. Lots and lots of siege tanks in this base, so if this is an indication of what we're up against, this is going to become quite frustrating. All right, Archons, follow up. Okay, you guys destroy that. The rest of you move on up. It seems like we've made some serious progress. We're slowly moving in with everything else. Leave the observers there so that we can see spider mines, and then let's rally everything that we have up into the teal base from our gateways. So, Reavers, I need to focus on to make sure that you're still building Scarabs. Actually, this is going very well. I was talking earlier, like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm moving, like, not fast enough. And honestly, this is going very well. I mean, we are losing stuff, but it's not so much. I mean, we're losing ground forces. We're losing our more disposable Zealots and Dragoons. It's just because there's so many tanks. So many tanks. We need to get rid of these tanks, and then we can push in with a larger force. A larger ground force. As you can see, we're spilling in with other stuff. So this is being quite helpful. Oh my word. Okay, let's try to draw these wraiths. Draw them over here. I mean, ultimately these are wraiths. I'm pretty sure like 2 Dragoons can handle this, but it's quite frustrating. You and you and you and you. Okay, meanwhile, I've got more units coming up here. Carrier, keep attacking in this direction. And I'd say we definitely pushed through Teal's base. We lost a lot of our gateway units, but ultimately this went okay. We're rallying up more gateway units. So lots and lots of Zealots, honestly. They really help push through very, very quickly. Meanwhile, well, my carriers are doing fine. I was going to say it's tempting to make more carriers, but it's really not necessary right now. Okay, let's make more Scarabs. We have so many Scarabs. All right, move on up with the observers. We can check for spider mines. Keep in mind, Archons don't trigger those spider mines. They can take damage from them if they explode near them, but they don't trigger them because they're technically hovering. It's the same with other stuff. I think it was Pronago left a more detailed comment on how that works in the last Retribution video, so thank you for that. And what do we need next? Seems to be going okay. I might want more stuff at home just to kind of stay safe. Just sort of building stuff willy-nilly. Okay, so Teal is definitely done. Let's go ahead and rebuild our Scarabs. We've lost some Reavers. I might go ahead and get 2 more. It's going to take them a long time to score them up to where they're going, or we can just leave them at home and make sure that we're well defended. All right, so great, great, great. I could take this base. Let's go ahead and attack over here and just kind of clean up what's left of Teal. Can always use my my carriers to kind of wipe out whatever's left in terms of like high ground missile turrets and things like that. So attack over here. And I'm going to send a probe up here. I can take this base. I don't need it, but I could take it and then just build like a cluster of cannons and shield batteries as like a forward base, basically. Haha. Hilarious. Okay, so let's consolidate your units because of the unit selection limitation and my lack of using army hotkeys. I use some army hotkeys, like with my Reavers and my carriers, but for the most part, I don't use too many army hotkeys. That sort of ends in me just boxing my units a lot. And since there's a 12-unit limitation on that, it kind of cramps my style when it comes to trying to keep my units clumped up. Okay, seems like blue wants to come and attack me. All right, carriers, why don't you come down and help with that? The rest of you, I want you to clump up. I want you to clump up, and I kind of want to see maybe what's on the other side of this bridge. This blue attack is quite annoying because it's stopping my reinforcements from getting to me. There must be another bridge, perhaps, leading to blue's base, but there's also a bridge over here, which may be what we're looking for. I see you up there, missile turret. We need a single zealot to go up there and kill this. Again, we have to kill everything. Everything. So annoying. Every single missile turret. And, you know, it's possible. It's also been pointed out in the comments. It's quite possible to very easily set everything up such that you just have it so that the enemy only has to kill your factories, or you have to kill the enemy's factories as opposed to, like, everything. But, nope. That would just be apparently too easy. All right, let's push across this map. It's possible that we have an enemy base down here and an enemy base up there. Which one, though? Of which? I have no idea. There's no way I could know. It looks like blue is definitely over here. Let's move in with the observers first. And I'm just auto-attacking into the upper left. Let's take our carriers and do the same. And then I had Squirm and Reavers. Where you at, Squirm and Reavers? Alright, so we got everything up there. Got everything up there. Okay, so we've got a really, really powerful force here. Let's go ahead and make more Scarabs. And this base seems a little more spread out than the last. It's hard to tell. All right, move on in. Observers, move on in. I hear a ghost shooting, so it's possible that he's cloaked. Okay, and then observers, you have to be careful. I have them hotkeyed for a reason, because I don't want them running forward and getting murdered. They will get murdered very, very easily. Have my other Reavers made it up here, or did they die on their way? No, I never sent them up. Okay, Reavers attack. Okay, well, this has been quite successful. In one fell swoop, we've been pretty much wiping out the enemy. I'm throwing down some shield batteries here. So teal and blue, I think, are the only two AI that attacked me so far. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's just these two. Pretty much every mission has been two AI. So, okay, this certainly seems like where we want to go in the long run. All right, everybody attack over there. All my units are just super spread out like usual. I should have known better. All right, I need more units kind of up on that higher area. And we could just back up and defend ourselves on that little ledge area. Or not that ledge area, but that area where I have all those shield batteries. That's kind of what we're going to do next. Dragoons and Dragoons and Dragoons and Dragoons and Dragoons and Dragoons and Dragoons. And Zealots and High Templar and High Templar. Great, we have so much money. I think I did really well in spending my money as fast as I could earlier. It's just, you know, you can only spend your money so fast. And early on, I think I was spending it as fast as I needed to. Beyond that, once you start attacking, it's quite hard to spend as much as you have coming in because, you know, you're close to being supply blocked. Get those dropships. Get them! Very, very cool. So I've noticed a few people in the comments, they seem to enjoy the fact that I'm kind of focusing more on like a conventional style of fighting. Again, I'm not cheesing anything. If I see an opportunity to like cheese something silly like, I will do it. I will straight up do it, just because, you know, it'll be fun to have some variety in how we complete these missions. But by cheesing it, I mean, like, if there's an objective that we have to get to, we just, like, fly a bunch of scouts to it instead. You know, maybe I'll do something like that. But who knows? Who knows? All right, we've cleared this out. I'm going to use my carriers to scout around, and then we're going to move everybody, I guess, back in this direction so that we can start pushing downwards into whatever base is down there. Or maybe we're just missing a blue base somewhere, which I wouldn't be fucking surprised about. Blue or teal has like a separate base. I still have a scout, don't I? Where are you, scout? There you are. Go ahead and just kind of attack over in this direction. Let's see. Meanwhile, I'm going to make some extra carriers only because... Actually, no. I'm going to make a bunch of scouts. Only because they're fast and we can use them to kind of clean up any enemy buildings that might be left. All right, psi limit exceeded. Oh, I see purple. Okay, there's a purple base. Interesting. Let's go ahead and get air armor. And let's just look. I just want to look around with my carriers to make sure. Oh, they're nuking us. Get them. Get them, Zealots. We might not be able to kill him in time. Okay, good. We stopped him. Psi limit exceeded. It seems like purple came online. It seems like purple came online at a certain point. Maybe once we started attacking into teal or something. I don't know. I built these... these shield batteries, and I don't see much of a purpose for them. Okay, you guys squirm your way down here. All the time it took me to get all my units up here, and now it doesn't matter. Yeah, so now purple is, like, online in some way. Okay, carriers come on down too. Where is purple coming from? They're definitely in this direction. I guess that means we're gonna auto-attack down here and just see where we end up. My carriers are not around to support us, though, unfortunately. But we have so much money that we can really just afford to just pretty much throw units away at this point. So let's do exactly that, just to kind of get down towards these buildings and start cleaning this crap out. All right, they're sending air units at us, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and we've got the scouts coming in too. What are we missing up here? These Reavers, they're just really slow, so... On the plus side, it seems like all my units are actually moving, so observers, why don't you move on in here? We've already made a big push. See, they're not using EMP on us. This has been huge because my Archons can finally be effective. I've been making Archons in previous missions, and it's been kind of pointless just because they can't. They get EMP'd, and then they have like literally 10 health, and that's it. So. Okay, let's just send a couple zealots up here to clean up the turrets that are up in this area.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Okay, and then my carriers have arrived. They're here. So let's use the carriers to start cleaning up these outlying buildings. Again, I'm using the carriers more as a support force and mostly just to speed up the objectives, because this goes very, very slow, you'll notice, when we have to clean up really, like, errant, silly buildings. So if we do that with carriers, from the get-go, it's a lot faster. So that's why I made these carriers and scouts. So we have a separate air force that it's more of a tactical group as opposed to a let's wipe the map, LOL, how easy was this? Because again, it's boring to play, it's boring to watch, and whatever. All right, come on down here. Oh my, I just got the, a pretty sudden urge to poop. Sometimes that happens to me, especially after I take a nap. You know, it's basically my body telling me, you know, Jay, this isn't an emergency. You know, don't be fooled. You don't have to rush. But if you pooped, probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes, it would be way more satisfying than if you waited. So I'm hopeful that we're gonna finish this real soon because I want that feeling, that wonderful poop now and call now, and for the low price of $29.99, you'll get 1 poop for the price of 2. That doesn't really make any sense. I don't know. Just, the way I said it the first time sounded like a telemarketing commercial, so that's why I said that. Okay, so let's keep going. We have uncovered like this entire goddamn map. Is there any way up here? Well, there's a base up there. Ah, look at this. I fucking every goddamn mission, there's like 1 or 2 random buildings that's in a place that you couldn't get to with your ground units. Look at this. There's no ramp up here. There's no ramp up here. Ah, son of a bitch. All right, get in there, carriers and scouts. This is why I built, again, this is why I built these things. So now I can just destroy these final buildings and we'll be done. Get them, scouts. I hope this is it, but it might not be. There's still uncovered areas of the map. Of course, that would have been too easy, wouldn't it have? Honestly, look. Look. Don't judge me for this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course. Of course. Well, this is why we made scouts. And they're on the high ground too. Don't judge me for using Black Sheep Wall. When this is all that's left, I don't know who I'm arguing with. I'm not arguing with anyone. Everyone has been like, no, you're right. This is stupid. They shouldn't have done it this way. So let's slowly make our way up and destroy these missile turrets, and then we will be done. So yeah, don't judge me for using Black Sheep Wall. I don't want to hear that. All right, destroy this. The last spider mine. Sounds like a. There's like Nova Covert Ops coming out, and then the next mini campaign that's gonna come out from Blizzard is the last spider mine. I don't know. It sounds like an in-game movie. There was it's like a joke within Wings of Liberty. If you click on the spider mines in the armory, it talks about some silly spider mine movie, but I don't remember what it was called. All right, come on, carriers. You can make it. Hurry up. I really want to partake in this glorious soon-to-be poop. And it will be glorious. I'm really looking forward to it. But instead we have to wait because these 3 goddamn missile turrets, because the map makers decided, "Oh no, we have to make them kill everything." All right, that should be it. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Perfect. Victory. That's what I like to see. Hey. Well, each mission seems to be getting, I mean, these missions are well designed. They're just blandly repetitive, but each individual map is pretty well done. Again, what this Argostone is that we're going for, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I should go back and watch the briefing from Mission 1 and it will explain it, but honestly, I have no idea. Well, hey, this has been Jayborino. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.